Mike McCool here in the Royal Examiner studio, and with me today is Lynn Downs. She is the president, is that what it is?
President
of the ARC.
Yes.
And so tell us a little bit about the ARC. We've heard this organization has been around for 50 years maybe.
Yes, a long time. It's a national organization.
And
yes.
so it's kind of like, I haven't heard much about it in the last few years, and I'm thinking when you approached me, I said, well, that sounds familiar, So, well, bring us up to date on what's happening at the ARC.
So the ARC is a national organization for the inclusion. The whole mission is the inclusion of individuals with intellectual developmental delays throughout their lifetime. So basically, we hate to say it, but a good way is cradle to grave.
Right.
We have a state organization, so it's got a hierarchy. There's a state, but we are a local chapter here in Warren County, servicing individuals and their caregivers and families here in Warren County.
Right.
Basically, what we're here for is to offer support and to work toward full inclusion in our community.
Right.
We do everything from advocate to educate. We like to say we advocate, educate, and socialize.
There you go.
So that's our mission and our goal is to have community partners and move forward with the organization.
I think one thing I caught there was caregivers.
Yes.
The caregivers are forgotten.
All the time. I'm one.
Yeah.
I'm one. That's how I got involved. Caregivers are forgotten, and they aren't always family members.
Right.
Sometimes there are waivers through the state of Virginia that provide caregivers for individuals. And it can be a lot. The caregiver needs self-care as well, and I think we forget about that.
Right. So how does this different than things that happen at social services?
So the difference for us is we help you navigate social services. So instead of going into social services and getting paperwork, you can bring that paperwork to us, and we'll help you understand what's available,
what's not available,
what to ask for, what's sometimes a specific wording you need.
Yeah, I know. If they look at that's not on our list, so
exactly,
and it's the same thing, but sometimes people use a different word.
Exactly, and we know the wording to use to get the services you need. Yeah. There are a lot of waivers available in the state of Virginia people don't know about.
Right.
And these waivers will provide care in the community for your loved one.
Right.
And that and respite care for you as the parent that is so needed.
Sure.
You hate to say you need a break from your loved one, but sometimes we need a break from all our loved ones.
My wife tells me that.
Thank you. My husband does too. I need a break. So that is there. And we're really excited. We're a group of parents, all of us with children that are adult. So we've navigated this for, we've got probably all of us. I think the one with the most experience probably has 30 years of experience doing this. Right,
and that's what happens with, you end up taking your child. They're always their child, your child, regardless of their age.
Yep.
And also when you go, what happens to them?
That is another thing. We are looking for partnerships. We are trying to make partnerships within the community for things like an attorney to come in and talk about trusts for your loved one when you're no longer there. We would love to have somebody come in and speak about how to transition your loved one into the community. We need more supportive employment here. There needs to be more employment opportunities for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
Years ago, way back, they institutionalized a lot of people, and then realized that, that's doesn't really the best treatment, but
exactly.
And so now we're kind of including people, and there's all sorts of levels. There's some people that are severe, I guess, and some people that can pretty much function but need a little help.
Exactly. Some people need more support than others. Mm-hmm. But the whole goal is for an inclusive, full life for these individuals, and at the same time protecting their human rights. Because I think that that's another thing that can be overlooked, that these individuals are deserving of the same rights as everyone else. The right to an education, the right to health care. So we do lobby in the state for certain bills that provide more care for our individuals.
We have some friends that have a child that is now 35 years old, and I guess, lack of a better word, they're wheelchair bound and almost like a quadriplegic, I guess. And they said, she's not going to live, maybe a year or two. Well, here she's 35 years old, and you're thinking, there's just nothing in there, you know what I mean? But they got her one of those talking keyboards.
Exactly.
And all of a sudden, now she's telling jokes, and she laughs, and she'll punch that button. So just because we see on the visual on the outside,
Exactly.
there's a lot on the inside that gives them full and brings joy to the people that have cared for them. So,
And we can help those caregivers get those
Yeah.
appliances that they need, those special needs devices,
Right.
for their loved one to get the most out of their life.
And not everyone's that severe, but
Not everyone,
And I have
but-
other ones that's worked for 40 years at McDonald's. She's worked, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And can, she can't drive, but she can do everything else.
Exactly.
And I know her mother's concerned because, her mother's up there in years, and she's
Exactly.
saying, "What's going to happen to my daughter?"
And it's scary.
Yeah.
I have two sons that are the oldest that I have that's affected is 28. But still, my husband and I are getting older. We're getting ready to
Sure.
retire, and that is something that is a real concern.
Sure.
And there are attorneys out there that specialize in these trusts,
Right.
so that your loved one is taken care of,
Yeah.
and they're not institutionalized.
Right.
So we have the ability to offer those services. And the really wonderful thing is we have partnered through a wonderful donation from Calvary Episcopal Church. They have given us physical office space, something we've never had. So we will have a physical office
Right.
here in Warren County that people can come into. We're hoping to have 2-day-a-week office hours starting in March,
Right.
where people can stop by, ask questions, bring us your paperwork.
Sure. And that's important because I can remember I've helped some people about, she didn't know how to fill out this thing for Social Security.
Exactly.
I didn't know, so I just called my CPA, and he was glad to help her out.
And if you don't fill it out right, you're going to be
That's-
denied.
And well, and she had been denied.
Mm-hmm.
I said, why don't you go talk to my CPA, because I think he really knows about this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'd called him, and he said, yeah, I do this all the time. And got approved first
Exactly.
time through. So it's
Exactly.
about knowing how to dot the I's, cross the T's.
Knowing the wording to use, exactly. So
Yeah.
bring in your
That's how
waiver
government
paperwork.
works.
Bring in your paperwork. Bring in your questions. Just bring in yourself. Have a cup
Yeah.
of coffee and just
Yeah.
talk to someone else who's walked the walk
I was going
that
to
you've
say,
walked.
you share that common bond, and all of a
Exactly.
sudden it just makes you feel just a little bit better.
Exactly.
You're thinking there is hope.
There is.
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
There is.
And that's really what. Yeah. And I
Exactly.
do like the name now that you're calling it the Ark.
The Ark.
And I first thing I thought of was Noah and saving mankind.
We are. We're coming in with our boat, and we're letting all of you on. And the other thing is, you don't have to be a parent or a caregiver of someone, an individual with intellectual developmental disabilities. We need allies.
Right.
We need anybody who's willing to, hit the ground running, get our mission out there, find supportive employment, find, help parents navigate an IEP. Maybe it's just sitting beside them during the IEP.
Sure.
So they don't feel like it's us against them.
Exactly.
And we also offer social opportunities. A few things that people don't know about that are here in Fort Royal. I know they know that we have Special Olympics. We do have Special
Sure.
Olympics.
And you're tied to that.
We are. We help. Yes, I am tied. I'm actually the Secretary of Special Olympics, but we kind of all, it's the same little group of parents.
Sure.
And we need that to be a bigger group of parents.
Right.
Special Olympics, which we're just now finishing bowling. Yesterday was our pizza party for that. And we begin basketball the first week of March. So we do things basketball, we do kickball, bowling, so these things. And we're trying to open it up. We might have esports this summer.
Sure.
We also, and I'm not sure, this is one that I think people don't know as much about, is we have something called Challenger Little League through Front Row Little League. Challenger, right now, there is sign-ups going on right now. They have one at the Moose on Saturday. It is for any individual over the 5 and over, and 5 to 105, to play baseball. Play every Saturday at 3 o'clock during the baseball season. We have tournaments. That is nationally recognized. And about, oh my gosh, do I want to say 15 years ago, we went to the World Series, the Little League World Series, and played a game.
There you go.
So that is out there. And again, I'm tied to that. My son is the commissioner of the baseball. But again, we could be a hub to connect people to any of those things, any of those recreational activities. So that is, that's what we're here for.
Right. Now you have a meeting coming up here
We
soon.
do.
So tell us what will we learn at this meeting?
So we have a parents meeting, and it's not just parents, it's for anyone that's
Sure.
interested in finding out what we do.
Sure.
It is February the 28th at 6 o'clock at the Parish Hall at Calvary Episcopal Church. We're going to talk about, actually, the premise of the meeting is, what can we do for you?
Exactly. There you go.
I am not here to tell you. I'm here to listen. So we as a board will sit and listen, and I will ask what I like to call the miracle question. And I asked this to my board the other day. The miracle question is, if a miracle occurred tomorrow, and the one thing that you wanted the most that would make your loved one succeed, the inclusion, the biggest thing, what would that be? And I got the answers, and it was funny because the answers I got from 5 board members: education, advocacy, and community.
There you go.
And I will guarantee we will hear those same 3 things throughout that meeting. So that is our focus. When we hear what Warren County wants from us, that will then become our focus. We will begin having monthly parent meetings where we'll offer guest speakers like that attorney to come in and speak. Someone who's navigated an IEP, maybe the head of special services could come in, talk about what an IEP is, how to go about that process. Somebody to come in and speak about the waivers that are available.
New services and services that are disappearing.
Yes.
That's important
How
too,
to advocate.
'cause sometimes things disappear and get sunset clauses, and they fade out.
Exactly.
But they're sometimes replaced not as good or better. So knowing how to navigate through the government is probably a very critical thing.
And that's what we're here for.
And I think most people want to help. But like you say, they just don't know how.
Well, volunteers, we're always welcome. We need volunteers. Like I said, you don't have to have a loved one or be a caregiver for someone with an intellectual developmental disability. All we ask is that you care.
Right. And almost everyone knows someone.
Everyone knows
Except
someone.
for the grace of God, there goes I. That's what I always say, And so sometimes you need to help people. And like I say, maybe it's just respite care.
Exactly.
And that's real important.
Maybe just a coffee talk. Just being able to come in. And our parent meeting, by the way, we'll have childcare. So bring your loved one with you. We will have someone there. I don't want to call it childcare, but we'll have an activity for your loved one to do so that you can participate fully in the meeting and give it your attention.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I can tell by the energy you have that you're passionate.
Scary, isn't it?
You're passionate about your mission. So
I am.
It's great, Lynn. And like I said, on 28th of February, they're having this meeting at the Episcopal Church. So that's great. We put that information. We just posted that story last week. And we'll share it again. And we'll put that information below the video here. And check it out.
And they can reach us on our Facebook page.
Right.
Make sure you put ARC of Warren County, Virginia, because there are very many Warren County ARCs. But we are Warren County, Virginia.
Yes, there are several Warren counties. I know. I'm looking for Warren County School Board, and it pops up in Ohio.
Kentucky, in Ohio, yes. So if you put Warren County, ARC of Warren County, Virginia, you will reach our Facebook page, which has all our information on it.
We'll put that link below the video here.
Thank you.
Again, Lynn, thanks so much. Come back, talk to us again. Keep us posted what's happening at the ARC.
I certainly will. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Thank you.